Yes, ma'am. All right, here we go.
Well gone with it, well gone. Can you hear me good? I miss being you. Can you hear me good? Loud and clear?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right.
All right, here we go.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Hey, what's going on, world? It's your girl Shy, and welcome back to the CheyTea podcast.
You dumb? You see that?
We back. Oh, that was triple clap. She can't do that more than once.
I can't. I think I messed it up a second time.
Libra season.
Libra? It's Libra.
Oh, sorry. Libra.
It's actually Libra, but
this
you know
thing always does that to me when I start recording. Stop making noise from my laptops. I'm set.
Well, if you're a Jamaican, it's Libra.
Libra season. Libra season. 28. 28.
Praise him.
28 on the 28. 28 on the 28. Champagne mommy. Oh, whoa. Champagne mommy. Whoa, whoa. She's blessed. Highly favored. She's rich. She's healthy.
Speaking.
She's wealthy. She's outside. Inside. Always.
How y'all doing?
Welcome back to an episode of Welcome back to another episode of the CheyTea podcast. I am your host, Cheyenne Shantae.
And it's your girl, Aaliyah Nora. You know the vibes. We're on a birthday vibes.
She was late today, but
she
brought me an ice cap.
I don't know.
So all is forgiven.
I really want to know why she's exposing mans. I just don't understand. Like, why would you do that?
Listen, she knew, okay? She said, you know what? I'm running a little late. So
and I knew if I walked in here with the people that have coffee and I didn't get her nothing, she would have looked at me and said, you're late and you never got me nothing.
That part.
Because Starbeezy, I run out of peach juice, I had to go to Tim Hortons because I'm a Starbeezy kind of girl. But now Miss Shantae's an ice cap girly. So
yeah, because the Starbeezy coffee is a little too expensive for my liking.
And when I calculated how much money I spend on the Starbeezys, need to take some time.
No, I have relaxed a little bit, you know?
But, you know, no ASMR.
Oh my goodness. You know the drill. Make sure you're following us on all social media platforms, CheyTea Podcast.
And on Instagram and TikTok, CheyTea Podcast.
That's all social media platforms. You got to say the YouTube. Come on. Go back. All social media platforms.
Don't say that because then that throws me off, bro.
All right. Okay.
Just say the one and let me say the rest.
Okay, I'll do the Instagram and TikTok and you do the YouTube.
Thank you.
All right. Make sure you're following us on social media, on our social media platforms, TikTok and Instagram at CheyTea Podcast.
And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at CheyTea Podcast. Click the notification bell so you're notified every single time we upload. Comment, like, you know the vibes already. Do the thing. Do the thing.
She's like, at this point, just follow us.
Yeah, like just do it.
That's funny. Okay, so our last episode was great. Thank you so much for those who have downloaded. Always remember to download our episodes on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts because we will truly appreciate that. Download it, listen to it on your way home, on your way to work,
on your way
when
to
people that are stressing you, on your way to practice, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that was an interesting episode, and I wanted to follow up because on the where I am again, Jeannie Mai. So
I thought we were gonna talk about my birthday first.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Let's. Oh shoot! I didn't ask you how. Oh, hold on. Wait.
That was rude.
Reverse. We'll get back to that after that. So how was your weekend?
It was great, friends. I've realized now that I'm getting older, sometimes celebrating your birthday in the club is just not. And like you don't really have to do the most. Granted, do the most in the sense of like. Do the most that makes you feel comfortable and that like what you're satisfied with. But me, I was very much so like I told my friends, shout out to Mariah and Angelica, that I wanted to do more like outside activities in the sense of like other than going out to the club. So we went to Activate yesterday and it was fun. And I was like, wow,
go there.
Wholesome activities.
Is that the place where the floor colors up and you have to run to it?
Yeah, so like you pick. There's different like games like in within the one room. So you pick one. So we did that one yesterday, and it was funny. And there was one like laser game that we had no idea. Like sometimes you don't know what you're doing. Like when you get into the game, so you have to play it a couple more times. So there was like a laser one. We had no idea what we were doing, and then we realized that you have to your color will disappear, and you have to like slide through the laser beams, and you have to tap the button on the wall, and then run to the other side. So yeah, it was fun.
Is it good to play with just like a short? Is it like better for a group, or is it like two people can play?
You can go with 2 people, but I would say like 4 would be cool, or like 3. Yeah, 3 or 4 is nice because then like it's more like because when you're pressing the different buttons on the wall, like there's 4 different colors.
Okay.
So like 4 is cool, but you can play with any amount of people, to be honest. But that was fun, and then we went to this hibachi place, which the food was
Immaculate.
it was good, and like it's a good thing I listened to the reviews because there was like other locations, but the one that we went to had like 4.4 stars, and I was just like, shout out to them. It was very good.
Yeah, it was very delicious. It was
Yeah.
Alex for me that tipped the chef. Oh my god, the little
That's how you know it was good.
Alex said, "Come here." I gave the man a little tip. I was dying
Because the chicken fried rice was seasoned. It was
delicious.
like it was delicioso. So yeah, and like it was very chilled. Like
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it. Like
That's good. I'm happy. I'm
Yeah,
happy
man.
for you. I'm happy you had a great birthday.
yeah, man. Praise God.
Yeah, I realize like you said, when it starts to get into like celebrating birthdays, it's just more of like an intimate vibe.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like your closest friends are there and like they celebrate you, they love upon you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like it doesn't always have to be like such a big extravagant thing. Like when I had my 30th birthday, I had all my people them in there, had a vibe, had fun, went to
Yeah.
look at Airbnb because we were in the vids.
Exactly.
And it was a good vibe, and that was
good
it.
vibes.
Like
And that's it. And like
that's
can
all that
even-
you need.
Even if like you went to the club or something, like, it's still like an intimate vibe because it's your
Yeah.
closest friends. Like you didn't need a bag of people to like
No.
make it fun.
No.
And I realized that as I've gotten older, because I've always thought that like, oh, I need so much people here. I need to make sure.
No,
it's a
save your money because
vibe.
you can have the next birthday. God spare your life.
I'm saying.
You can have the next birthday. The next birthday celebrate
This
after
was a
that.
champagne birthday, but when I get to 30 friends,
Oh, we doing it up for the 30th.
we're
doing it up.
traveling. We're catching flights.
Oh, we're gonna catch flights.
We're going places,
Oh, okay,
friends.
Okay. no
Yeah,
problem. Yeah. All right. Go on,
spending
get it.
money.
Go on. Me nah.
You know the vibes.
Me not say nothing.
You know the vibes, guys. Listen, I love a birthday. Doesn't matter if it's me or somebody else. I love a birthday. I'm always here to celebrate the people that are in my life. Because when it's your birthday, it's my earth strong too.
Mm-hmm.
Together.
Man, once I knew your birthday was finished, that mean I had just a couple of weeks to get myself ready for Bay's birthday.
Relax, we're not talking about Scorpio season yet. It's
I know,
still the
I'm
birthday
just saying it's coming up though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got Bay, I got the bestie's birthday like 3 days later.
Yeah, and then Christmas and your niece's birthday.
I know, like that's too much. Okay, so relax. Please. So yeah, I'm just happy that you're able to celebrate your birthday and you felt the love and
Yes,
the love was
ma'am.
given to you.
Yes,
and
it was.
yeah.
Shout out to my friends.
First time I go take this girl to Sephora, and I'm like, girl, pick up anything you want. Why was she struggling? I was like, you know what? First and last. Because
No,
this girl
because
was like,
I
but what do I want though? I'm like, what do you mean, what do you want?
You
always-
know when you just wear the same things, guys? Buy me the stuff I need to re-up on.
I'm like, this is the one time I tell you, go in Sephora and get what you need. And this girl was taking her time. I was like, it's okay. It's all
I'm gonna
right.
shout out to my dogs because guess who's seeing Dexter in November? This girl.
As you should.
Shout out to my friend.
I might. I asked Tristan if he wanted to go. And he just looked at me. He's like, I'll go, but I'm not spending no money. He's like, that's your treat.
I'm screaming. You see how selfless that is? A man is gonna take his woman to go see Dexter on his birthday.
Oh, well, because
That's
me not one of them
beautiful.
woman them that go party people them
First of
scared.
all, neither am I.
No.
I just want you guys to know, if you guys catch me on the stage, he's not bubbling me like that. Okay, I'm only on the stage because he asked me to perform for the audience.
Don't get on my nerves. Listen to me. Anyways, yes. Yeah, so lovely weekend. Everything was great.
Praise God.
You know, shout out to my future current sister-in-law. It was her birthday as well. We celebrated last night.
Come on, birthday twins.
Yes, it was very fun. We celebrated last night. It was a vibe.
Was
And
food
then-
good?
Yeah, the food was good. The food was good. It wasn't tree bad. I had steak and shrimp. It was delicious.
Not the
It
swims.
was delicious. And then tonight we're gonna go celebrate Turtleneck's birthday as well. So shout out
Big
to
up
shout out all the people
Shout
that
out to all the
birthday. You know?
Libras. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Oh
to all
my
the Libras. All wagwan. Shout out to us.
All right, man. All
God
right.
bless us.
Anyways, okay. So
Why is she mad? Because you're born in the dead of winter.
So I just wanted to follow back up on what we were talking about, which I forgot to ask you for the weekend and stuff. But Jeannie Mai,
Look,
I say her name?
yes, you
Oh,
did.
hallelujah. Let me tell you something. So as more details are coming out, right?
Yes.
Apparently she's trying to like fight for her marriage and all that stuff. Good for you, girl.
More power to you.
Some people were saying that like her brother and her mother allegedly moved into their home.
I thought they always lived with her. Or at least her mom, I thought, always lived with her. Only because she had like a YouTube channel called like something Honey or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. And she used to make videos with her mom. So I assumed that from like them time, she was living with her mom.
Okay, that could be true. But I know from what I heard is that the brother moved in. And
Not
I think that's where the relationship you're so annoying.
What?
That's where the relationship kind of like went a little south because when you have your family move in, and I get it. For me, like let me just use you as an example.
Yeah.
If you were to come and live with me, I know it would be for a certain time period because A, you like your own space. B, you don't like to be in people's spaces.
For those of you listening,
like,
I'm nodding my head.
You like to sleep in your own bed and you don't like to wear pants. So I know for a fact that if you live here, it's A, for temporary.
Very temporary.
And B, as comfortable as I'm going to make you feel, you're still going to feel uncomfortable for all four of those reasons.
Yeah, because
why?
this is your yard.
Right, exactly. But you're my sister and you respect my relationship and you respect Tristan and we both respect and love you. So we're going to have you here for a short time period.
Yeah.
But how do you tell your family member to leave when they
Come out that people them yard. You don't pay no rent, no mortgage, no bill, nothing. Get out that people them crib. Like what? Like it's time for you to skedaddle. It's time for you to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's time for you to go, baby.
Oh, it's just skedaddle.
Like, how do you, let's be for real, okay? All jokes aside, let's be for real. Like she said, I'm the type of person, I don't like to be all up in your space like that. Like, if that were to happen to me, I would stay with Shan, but immediately, give me about maybe a month. And that's maybe if like I'm looking for something or whatever. Like, you wouldn't see me here longer than when the next month rent is due.
Yeah. Which that is understandable because for me too, like I feel this like the same. Wow, what am I trying to say? The same reasons why I know it would be a temporary stay for you is the same reason why it would be a temporary stay for me because it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I like my own space. I don't like to feel like I'm an inconvenience to anyone.
Yes.
So as much as I know, like, I'm going through something and I know the availability is there for me to stay. I know that, I know that the extended hand to help me, I will always take.
Yeah.
But I also understand where like you gotta go.
Yeah.
At a certain time, you're pushing. You gotta go.
It's even like when my best friend like says like I can sleep at her house. Yeah, she has a guest room and everything. But even then, and it's not like because like, oh, I don't want to sleep in your crib. It's not that. It's just
you're comfortable
it's just
with.
what I'm comfortable with. It has nothing to do with you. It's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done it because like sometimes I just get like I've gotten really tired because she lives a decent amount of way. But it's not like, oh, I don't want to stay in your crib or oh, I'm not thankful that you're allowing me to stay here. But it's just like, no, it's time for me to go home now.
Yeah. At some point, it's just you just not overstay your welcome, but you overstay your welcome.
But I guess it's a cultural thing too sometimes because I know in certain Asian cultures, they're fine with family staying like parents or whatever the case may be. And granted, that's obviously to each their own and whatever you guys are comfortable with. But for me, I can't do that.
No, I can't. And it's like I know that a lot of time, like, your in-laws will stay with you and like you and your spouse. I think that's something that really has to be handled with care because in some ways, in some cases, in-laws like to overstep.
Mm-hmm.
They like to overstep you in terms of like how you parent if you have children, how you clean, how you cook, how you walk, how you just do things. And then at some point that's when it can get irritable for you.
Mm-hmm.
What I find has happened most of the time is I mostly find this when it comes to the the husband's mother.
Yes.
Mother and son vibe.
Yeah.
I feel like mothers like to do that a lot, where they like to overstep. Not all moms, but some moms will just be like, oh, like, did you do this or did you do that?
Because they're so used to doing that for their sons growing up.
Yeah.
Usually, not to
because
say
they're a
all-
mama's
not
boy.
to- not to say all men are like this, but usually some men maybe not clean their own rooms back in the day. And like, again, in certain cultures, whether you're like European or Asian, whatever the case may be, your mom most of the time did all of those things for you.
Mm-hmm.
So then that usually will carry into your adulthood, and they'll still think that they need to do all of those things or try to impose their opinions on your life when it comes to stuff like that. So I feel like that's where sometimes the bumping of the heads with like the wife and the mother-in-law, because it's just like, you don't need to baby him anymore. Like, I'm in his life now. He's a married man. I can take care of my husband, but sometimes the mothers don't get that because they can't separate. Okay, now my child's a full-blown adult and married now.
Look
There's
at
another
you pot
woman
in today.
there.
Come on, girl. Come on. High five me. Don't leave me hanging.
Sorry.
Thank you. That part, because that's exactly where I was thinking in my head as you were talking, is that like they are just so used to a certain type of environment where they feel like they're in their rights to overstep when truly you're not. Because at some point, like, you got to relinquish that now, because I am his wife.
Yeah.
I am his right hand. I am his person, and grateful and thank you for being there through the steps of the way. But now that is my position. That is not my job, but it's my duty to fulfill that. You know what I mean? So it's like, relax a little bit. And it's like, that's where like sometimes I say that like, I am so welcoming, but as long as the respect is there and as long as I can have that conversation with you, and as my husband, as my partner, I can look at you and say, hey, you know, so and so,
real quick.
So you have to talk to your mom. You know, she's walking into people in the house with her shoes on.
We don't do that.
I hope whoever's out there that you know who I'm talking to you, I hope you laugh at that part, okay? But anyways, yeah, so like you got to say something. Like, you know, at some point you have to say something. And it's so hard because as a woman, it's hard to overstep the mom because it's your house, and it's hard to say that this is my house because it's like you don't want to be rude or you don't want to create.
But I don't think it should be hard, because at the end of the day, like you just said, it's my house, and it's not a matter of being disrespectful. At the end of the day, I'm an adult too, just as much as you are. I'm not a child, so it's just like, if I'm just talking to you about the boundaries that are living in my house, because if I came to your house, I'd have to respect the same things that's going on in your house. So when you come into mine, don't treat me as if I'm 15.
Yeah.
Let's just say because Jeannie, mine's like what, in her 40s. Yeah. So I'm a big girl. You can't talk to me like that or try to tell me X, Y, and Z. I'm a mom just like you. I may not have as much experience as you yet, but I'm a full-blown adult. So if I say something that's going on,
you're a big woman.
Bigger one. If I say something that I don't like and I would like you to respect, I need you to respect that.
You're right. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. So, yeah, that was just our follow-up for that part. And
But regardless, I mean, like they say, thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers for all parties involved.
It's wild.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about relationship boundaries. I feel like this has been a topic that I've been having communications with. What am I talking about? This has been a topic that I've been having conversations about with multiple people, and I just thought it would be a good idea to talk about it on podcast.
Open it up again.
I think this is a main. This was like, I don't want to say a main problem or issue, but a main situation that I faced in my relationship, because I do not date a dancer. I don't date dancers for particular reasons, but in this case, my boyfriend is not a dancer. He is a regular, special citizen. Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's special. That's my man. Are you dumb? Listen, my man's handsome. Love you forever.
Okay, now we're done.
Okay. All right. So anyways, so I find that sometimes when I have conversations with my friends that are dating dancers versus my friends who are dating non-dancers, I find that the boundaries in our relationships differ. Now, I'm a dancer. I'm a choreographer. I'm a teacher. I dance. I know that I can dance and move my body in ways where I know that it's just for the art of dance. It's just for the show. It's just for the gig. Now, my boyfriend doesn't always see things that way. Ooh, Lord, hush. Doesn't always see things that way. So we have had to have the conversation because I remember one time went to a show. He saw something that I was supposed to do that I didn't end up doing. And, it made him feel away, but he didn't want it to make it an issue where he were to tell me, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. He was just like, you know what? If that's what's going to happen, because it just makes me feel uncomfortable. Not that you can't do your thing, but it just makes me feel uncomfortable. So I respected that. But we had to have that conversation of what your boundaries were. Mm-hmm. So I said, I don't want you to feel upset about something or that you don't want to not support me, but not watch what I'm doing if this is something that does not align with you. Mm-hmm. So what aligns with your boundaries? What is something that you say that this is not something you can take? So as a dancer now, when it comes on dancing on other people in the dance for a show, for a gig, I do it as tasteful as I possibly can because I know at a regular bashment jam, regular club setting, my man and I, we made the agreement that we don't dance with other people.
Yeah, you bubble on each other.
We bubble with one another. You dagger me. Mm-hmm. No other person is doing that to me, period. I don't want to see you do that. He doesn't want to see me do that. I will say I did change my tone because sometimes Bae listens. At first, I didn't think it bothered me. But as the more when the feelings get more like...
It's more when you actually see it.
Yeah.
And you kind of like, wait a minute.
I don't like that.
That's actually not for me.
Yeah. It's a no for me.
Might be for you guys, but it's not for me.
Right. And this was very earlier in our relationship when we were both doing that. And then I remember one time I saw him do that. I was like, Like it made me feel, I'm like, oh.
Because that's the point where you really like him.
No, I like him. Yeah, that was just like a few months. April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, 5 months of us talking. Yeah. And I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I don't like the way that made me feel. Okay. So we had that conversation. So I had to understand that. So where I'm going with this is that sometimes your boundaries as a dancer is different from your boundaries when you're dating a non-dancer. So as a dancer, what boundaries do you have where you say, like, even though me and you are doing the same job, or even me and you are a part of the same industry, I still don't think that that's okay for what you did, even though you may view it as, I'm just put it on a show.
You can just put on a show, but it's also about, like, I feel like respect comes into it. Because I feel like if I'm doing certain things on stage with another man and my man says, whoa, like, let's steer it back now, like you just stepped over a line, then like you kind of have to consider that person's feelings. At the end of the day, like everybody's boundaries are different and everybody's uncomfort level is different. So if I'm like bubbling with a man on stage or we're getting real close and then like, I'm bubbling him and like he like smacks my butt or something, it's just like, whoa. And then my man looks at me and says like, that is where like I draw the line. Then I'm like, okay, fine, I understand that, because now we're like touching each other and like now we're getting a little bit too close. So you kind of have to talk to your partner and just be like, what is too much? Because at the end of the day, whether you're single or not, some things on stage are too much for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, just stating my opinion, for me. I'll see certain things and some things are just uncomfortable for me. I'll be like, wow, there's a lot going on this stage, but it might not be for you. Then I just wouldn't go back to that show. Which is fine. But for me, like certain things are just like, we don't really need to do all that. Because sometimes I feel like not everything is art. You know what I mean? Like I get like we say that, oh, like a certain dance moves or whatever the case may be and it's just dancing. But sometimes it's just a little too much.
Yeah. I think
like,
I think it can be. Especially like, especially when it's like your body parts are being revealed and shown to other people, and that's like something that's sacred for your partner. Like that's my body part, like not mine, but like, you know what I mean, figuratively speaking. Like that's what I like to see. That's what gets me aroused when you do that, when you do that thing you do and that thing you be doing. You know what I mean? That's my
Don't be
thing.
Doing that on stage.
Yeah. You can't be doing the thing that you do for me on stage for the next person when that thing is supposed to be
on
my
a show.
thing.
No, you put on a show for me.
Right. And it's like sometimes it's like even just like the outfits. Like I respect anybody who can wear whatever type of lingerie you want out there. Like that is perfectly fine. This is an example. I had the conversation about the Fenty show with my boyfriend, and he was just like, you see, like there's just certain things that like I wouldn't feel comfortable you wearing because like those are things that you wear in bed with me, like when we are getting intimate with one another. So if I see you wearing that, I'm gonna feel some type of way. And I'm like, okay, but that it's just the job, like it's the gig. It's not dancing. I'm not dancing on anyone. I'm not winding up on anybody. I'm not dancing with another the opposite sex. I'm not doing that. It's a group routine of me in a thong and a bra. And he was like, yeah, but like you're revealing what you reveal to me to the world, and that's where my boundary is like this is something that you would wear with me. I said, okay, so what about if I wear like a boxer brief or like a more of like a booty cut panty, like one is something like that. He was like, yeah, like that would be okay with me, like personally. He's like, now again, he's not stopping me from doing the job because Rihanna, if ever in life you ever listen to a small person like me, I mean, sure, like I will definitely do it because a bag is a bag, okay? But it was just like, there was like, okay, but this is what I feel comfortable with you doing, and this was what makes me feel uncomfortable. And it's up to you to honor your partner's boundaries and their comfortness with what you do for a living. It's as simple as that. Some people will be okay with their partner being on OnlyFans. Some people will be okay with their partner being a stripper, exotic dancer, like those things like that. Like if you are comfortable with that, I'm sure, or I would hope, that you would have that conversation with your partner to what the boundaries are. And if you were to just assume, oh, well, I've done this before or I've done that before, so my partner's not going to be okay. My partner's not going to be upset about it. That's when you have to look at yourself in the mirror and just ask yourself, like, why are you making assumptions without asking?
Yeah. Everybody's relationship dynamics is different. So whatever you think is okay in your relationship, like, even when it comes to, like, what you wear, whatever you're doing, like, all of those things happen when you have a conversation with the person that you're with. 'Cause at the end of the day, you address those things earlier on in
Can
your
your partner,
relations.
sorry, not to cut you, but can your partner tell you like what to wear, or like can your partner see you in an outfit and be like, I don't like you wearing that, or that's too much?
I'm a hard-headed kind of girl. So like if I like it, I'm gonna wear it. But
right.
your opinion does matter.
Mm-hmm.
And will be taken into consideration. And I'll think to myself, you know what? You right. Or I'll say to myself, you know what? You're not.
I'm going to wear what I want.
I'm going to wear what I want.
Yeah.
So like it's not like an argument, but even then, like, again, as I'm getting older, you just kind of know like what you're comfortable in. If you're comfortable going outside in, how those girls wear those like little mesh dresses that they've been wearing these days. Like I personally am not putting that on, just for me out of my comfort level. But if your man if your man is okay with you wearing that, and you're okay with you wearing that, wear it outside. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all what goes on in your relationship dynamics and what makes you feel comfortable. If I'm going outside in the body shorts and a t-shirt, I'm going outside in the body shorts and a t-shirt.
That part.
And that's just what it is. If I want to go outside in a turtleneck and a long maxi skirt, I'm going to go outside in a turtleneck and a long maxi skirt. Like, it's, at the end of the day, as a woman, it's all about your comfortability and how you feel wearing what you're wearing and what you want to attract and how you feel when you put that on. Yes, of course, your man or whoever you're with, their opinion is going to matter. But at the end of the day, it's how you feel. So would I take into consideration what a man says about what I'm wearing? Yeah. But like, will that affect if I take it off or not? Probably not. Just because that's just how I am. And I've had that situation once and I still wore it because I was just like, is this going to be an argument or are we just going to let it go? And how uncomfortable are you? So like, it depends. But majority of the time, I'm chilling.
I understand that, and I think that I've always like heard these conversations where it's like, I only wear certain outfits around my man or around my partner because it could be revealing, and if you wear that on your ones with your friends, or you wear outfit that you will wear out with your friends to the club versus the outfit that you would wear with your man is different because you're with your man and like.
Yeah, men are gross.
Men are gross.
creepy.
Like they're creepy. Like they can just be very creepy, very touchy if they see you in something, and they just assume that because you're wearing an outfit, then that means that
You're giving off a different kind of, a certain kind of vibe.
when that's not the case. So
Yeah.
do I think that there are some outfits that I am more comfortable wearing with my man because he is there and it's more of like a protection for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the honest to God
Definitely.
truth. It is. I don't have the most revealing skimpy outfits, but I know that like, and that's just because I don't want to wear those things anymore. Yeah, I'm getting older now. Like, you know, I'm trying to be somebody's mom. Like, I don't want
like
anybody.
certain things like you wouldn't like your age now. You're not gonna wear something you wore when you were 21.
Yeah, and it's not to be like no ageism thing. Like, if you want to do that, that's your business. But for me personally, my preference is I want my man to slap my cheeks at home, not outside on road. Like, I don't want my cheeks outside because I'm going to a gym now, so a girl's getting a little booty pump. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, there's just certain things that I'll wear with my man, and there's certain outfits I'll only wear with my man, and I just feel more comfortable because I know if I'm with him, as much as you're gonna look, you're gonna stop looking because you're gonna see my man beside me or behind me, which then, like, I almost said the N word, but then men know like, oh, that's you, like, and you know, they leave you off and leave you be. Now if me, you, and you know, X, Y, and Z go out and it's just a girls' night out and I wear that outfit, I'm gonna get approached. And it's just how the environment
they
is.
don't see a man with you, so they're just gonna assume
Fine. Even if I tell you I have a man, that line never works, which I don't understand.
We can't be friends.
Well, yeah, exactly. Please, like, you're creepy. So as a woman, it's sad, but it's very understandable that I don't wear certain outfits without my man because I just know I'll be harassed if I wear an outfit without him there.
Attention.
Exactly. And I don't want to bring that kind of attention onto me. And it's just more of that comfort level. But are there certain outfits that I know that if I go out, my man's going to look at me and be like, you're going outside in that? Then I know that. It's because I know my man. I know how he is.
But even I look at you and I'll be like, hey, you really going to wear that?
Okay, no, okay. Yeah. So, and then when you guys say that to me, I reevaluate the outfit.
I'm not saying that it happens often, but I'm just saying even me as your sister, I'm just like, maybe not.
Yeah, I go back into the closet. I say, you're right. And that's okay. And that's fine. But I respect the boundaries because we've had that conversation. Yeah. So I think in order for you to respect the boundaries of your relationship and your partner's comfort level and what your comfort level is, there has to be a compromise. Yeah. Where you say, okay, I'm cool with this. Okay, I'm not so cool with this. And like, okay, so what if I do this? Or what if this is maybe the case? Me as a dancer, I have to set boundaries now. Like there's certain things he does not like. And I've said, okay, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. No man other than my man could pretend, even if we're acting, we're dancing, can bend me over, slap my ass, dagger me, like any type of like, you know, like slow wine where we're you know, everything's pressed up against each other.
Front wines?
You know, yeah. We don't do that. Like, I know that doesn't make my partner comfortable. Now, if it's like pertaining for like a gig or something, like I just have to know my boundaries. And what I respect is that people now ask you like, are you comfortable doing this first? Beforehand, there wasn't a lot of, are you comfortable? It was, you're going to do this.
Well, now, you have to. In this day and age, you have to start
You have no choice.
If they're okay with certain things. Because let's be frank. Like I said, there's a difference between art and just taking it too far.
What's taking it too far for you?
Taking it too far is like doing things that like you wouldn't necessarily do in public. Like when it comes to like performance-wise, it's just like,
what do you mean? Like things that you would do at home?
Yeah, like if I'm sitting down and like say like when like you're doing like a little stage presence, like when like how the little artist would like bring like a fan on stage and stuff. Mm-hmm. When we're like when now like you're on like I'm on top of you and I'm just shaking cheeks and doing all these things, like you're a stranger. Why am I sitting on top of you on stage shaking cheeks? Mm-hmm. And then you're slapping my butt? I don't know you.
Yeah, like someone's laying down and you're reenacting how you
reenacting, like, you know,
ride your man's buddy piece.
Yeah, Lord, you're
sorry.
Listen to this podcast.
Sorry. how
like,
you know?
Yeah, like you know, like
yeah.
And I get like again, like I said, it just all depends on the shows that you go to. But I think we're particularly talking dance shows. When I see these at dance shows, then in my head I'm just like, we've lost the art of dance now because now this is no longer a dance show. This is something else. And that's not what we're promoting. If I'm at a something else show, that's different. I'm not gonna say anything because this is what happens at these kind of shows. But when I'm at a dance show, I shouldn't see these in so many acts.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying. Which again, everybody teach your own, do what you want to do. But for me personally, I am not doing that because that's just uncomfy for me.
Uncomfy. There's something on your lip. Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
like it's just uncomfortable for me. Like I'm not doing that.
No, that's definitely something I understand. And like, I remember, I think,
low key, if my man was cool with doing that, like you wanted me to do that in the show with my man, I'll do low one too.
Oh yeah, with my man.
Cute. Yeah, make it a little cute.
With my
I
man.
wouldn't do too much, but I would give you a little so you can be like, you know, with my man. If I'm dating a dancer or whatever the case may be. But if I'm not, and this is a stranger, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. And like the kind of like my boyfriend, he's very reserved, you know. He can like do a 1-2 and like have fun and stuff, but like he's not a loud person. I'm very much a loud individual.
Very much.
Okay. I'm very much, I don't like that. I'm very much like, we're like opposites, but like we both balance each other out, because then like when I know I'm doing too much, he'll just give me a look and I'll be like, okay, I'm doing too much. Like I need to relax. I need to have an indoor voice. You know what I'm saying? And then like, but when it comes time where he's comfortable and he's having fun and he'll dance and, you know, he'll just do his little, his
shoulders,
his walk-ins, or he'll just do his jug or whatever. Like, you know, like there's a vibe where we both balance each other out. I know for a fact, like, there's just certain things, like if my man, I'm doing a piece or whatever, and I bring my man up on the stage, yeah, I'll do a little 1-2 with my man. My man will you know, rub me, my bum, and he'll give me a little tap on the ass.
Get a little grips and give the people a little show. Look at
because like, that's something that he's comfortable with. Like, he'll just do a little something, you know what I mean? When we go out, when the camera like, come on, we do a little bubble, like he'll bubble me, and we'll do a little 1-2, and then he'll give me a little tap on the ass.
And then you go about your day.
Yeah, and that's just like, that's how we balance each other. But again, it's like you just gotta have that comfortness and that discussion. And if you've never had that discussion, or it was an assumption,
maybe you should start.
You gotta that part. You gotta take some accountability where it's like, well, I thought this because I've done this before. I never knew that this would be an issue.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, you've done this before, but you've never done it like that
in a relationship.
So that is where my issue is, as you being my person. So okay, how can I continue to do a job that I'm being asked of that respects us and our relationship and your boundaries and my boundaries? That's where you have to have the communication. That's where you have to have the talk. Yeah. It's as simple as that. Like, you have to have those conversations. I know that sometimes some people will take it as like an authority type of thing, and I don't view it that way at all. I don't feel like it's a man telling a woman what to do with her body. That's a different conversation. Yeah. I don't think any man can tell a woman what to do with their body. It's up to you at the end of the day, it's your body, your choice. No man can tell you how to do anything. But if you are in a relationship, there has to be conversations where you compromise, like so that both parties are happy.
If your man is allowing you to get that bag and to do what you got to do, as you should.
But the conversation has to happen. Yeah.
So like, it's not a matter of this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. It's a matter of talking and saying, hey, this is what it is. But if so-and-so offers you so-and-so and you got to do X, Y, and Z, I'm about you getting that bag. I'm about you booking that job. I'm about you doing that show to get that whatever, or get that experience, or whatever the case may be. But always just have a conversation. I feel like when you have a conversation and you both agree on certain things, or he says, you know what, you like, this is what I'm comfortable with. I'm not comfortable with it, but you know what? If this circumstance comes up, then go for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just have to have the conversation. No one is saying that you cannot do anything and you have to just be like reserved and not do anything and not be able to do your craft. No one is saying that. Just have a conversation with somebody, because sometimes certain things just let's be for real, certain things are going to make you uncomfortable. Yeah. Like, not to get too deep into it, but there was that couple, the little, I call, instead of saying the word, like those corn star couples, and the girl and the man allowed his wife to do those things.
Adam, that's too much.
That's too far, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
they have to have that conversation.
They have to have that conversation, and that's another dynamic. That's an extreme dynamic. But like, you know what I mean? Like, they had to have some sort of conversation for that to happen. Obviously, your average Joe ain't doing that. But again, I'm just proving the point of talking to your spouse, or talking to your partner, talking to your significant other, and having a conversation of, this is fine with me, or this is not fine with me.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Can your partner warn you about your friends? And if so, were they right about like warning you about like a bad friend or people, bad company?
I've never had anybody warn me about my friends. But I think that your partner can tell you that maybe your friend or your friends are not your friends. I can see that. Because I've had like somebody like suggest that like somebody that I was friends with, it wasn't like the greatest person, but like he wasn't
Right.
he wasn't ish, so I didn't really take him on too much. But like certain behaviors, he was right, and I did take into account like his comments, and I did address those things. So I mean, he was a little right. So yeah, I would believe that like if your partner is telling you something that like, your friends ain't ish, then like yeah,
Do you
I
think
would
your
agree.
friends can be a reflection on you and your
Yes.
choices?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
used
I've
to.
seen that happen with my friends and like their friends, and like I would always wonder like, how are you and so friends?
Mm-hmm,
Because like you're friends with me,
mm-hmm.
not to toot my own horn, but you know, like I would look and I'd be like, how are you? Like
Friends
how
with that
does it?
person.
Yeah, like how did this work? Like how did this start?
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't like to judge people, but it's just like the personalities and the behaviors are not. It's like oil and water.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on that. You are a reflection of the company you keep. I think that was something that I never really understood at a young age. I didn't understand that like I shouldn't be associating myself with certain individuals because it was a reflection of me.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I remember when I would have those conversations with my significant other and they'd be like, yo, so and so is not your friend. And I'd be like, anyways, that is my friend. Like, what do you mean? That's my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes a man can say things and it can be a perception of where you will not agree with that perception because there might be an underneath level of it. Like he doesn't like the way that person act because they're single, or I don't want you around certain people because of them being single, or like they're looking for man and you have man, and like all those things. But when a woman warns you about your friends, let me tell you something. Trust a woman's instinct because we can see things in a point of view that you will not see. And I remember one time I warned a man about his friend, and as soon as me and that man were over, that friend slid in my DMs trying to talk to me, and I was like, "Sir, you are like you're besties, like."
For lifers.
Besties for lifers, okay? Known each other since like kindergarten, best friends.
Yeah.
These two were. And this man had the nerve to holler at me because me and his friend were done.
Yeah, but men will do that.
And I was like, what?
Not all
and
men.
Mind you, women can be shady too.
Definitely.
But I think that sometimes we do it in a different way where it's like, if it's like it has to come to like the certain magnitude of the friendship of a woman. I like laugh, but
I'm laughing because
it's kind of true.
No,
right?
I've been in a situation
right,
similar.
Right, but
when
if
it
you
came to friends,
right, but if you and like it's like you and your best friend. So for example, I know you and Katerina don't have the same taste in men, but you and Katerina are best friends, right? Yeah. Katerina, I don't ever seeing being like, hey, is it okay if I date so and so?
Yeah.
I think if it's like an associate person that like you've seen away around the way and they want to date somebody, but you literally only talk to them at like a party or a function, it's just a hi and bye, and you don't know anything about your lives. Mm-hmm. I think I'm more okay to that versus someone that's like in my circle.
Actually, since you brought that up, Katerina, we were young. I think we were like 18 at the time. She talked to somebody, like he took her out on a date, somebody that I kissed. And like
how did that make you feel?
At first I was a little annoyed because she didn't tell me.
Right.
That's why
she told you.
She told me after the fact. And I was like, you could have just told me. So I think that was more irritating than like her. Like if she told me, I would have been like, okay. Because like it wasn't anything like we didn't have a relationship. Me and like we didn't do anything.
It wasn't anything serious.
Yeah, it wasn't anything serious. And then plus they even stopped talking after that too.
Right.
So like it didn't go anywhere. So I was like, you could have just told me. And she's like, I didn't know. Like I didn't want to tell you. So I was more mad at that. But like I can see why like some girls might feel away. But for me, I've done the whole friend thing, but it didn't go further than what it needed to go. because I was just like, this is awkward. Like I can't.
It gets awkward after
like
a while.
it gets weird. Not even
Yeah.
after a while. Like as soon as like it even happened, I was like, this is awkward
Yeah.
for me. Like knowing that like me and your friend had dealings, and then now you're
You're trying to have dealings with me.
Yeah, like this
no.
is weird.
It's weird. And you don't want to keep it within the same circle.
No.
So it's like, it's weird. That's why, to go back to what the question was, the original question, it being, can your partner warn you about your friends? I think you do have to take it to a certain, you have to take their words to a certain extent where you ask yourself, okay, why do you feel this way?
Yeah.
What is the reason that made you question my friend? And if those are some valid reasons, then you have to see it from a different point of view because they're realistically, they're looking out for you.
And to be honest, it's for real. Men are not going to bring something up like that unless like it's really like an issue. Like unless your friends are like really dog-ish. Like they're not, because man, they don't really care about that kind of stuff. But unless like your friend is really not a good person, they're not going to tell you that your friend ain't shit if like they really are.
Yeah, because everybody knows my man is very like chilling, cool, always cooling. Like he likes
not
to say,
any of your business.
Not in any of my business. Does not care about he cares about me and stuff, but like he doesn't care about women stuff. He doesn't care about women stuff. But I remember when that man was looking at me and said, "Yo, that certain individual is not your friend."
And if a man like him, who's very much to himself and quiet and unproblematic, tells you that
that's not your friend, that's not my friend. And I believe him. And after seeing it, like at first, I wasn't listening. But when certain things started to like open up and when certain things started to occur.
You were the example of who don't hear most feel.
Yeah, I had to feel and I felt it. And, the man looked at me and said, "I told you so." And I was like, "You did." Yeah. So I will never take his warnings with a grain of salt like I did last.
He opened up my eyes too. I was like, damn.
Yeah, but he was right.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see it from that.
You should just notice certain behaviors because you know what I've noticed? And you also have to be careful with this too though. Like if somebody that you're friends with is like really close to somebody who did you wrong or like has done you dirty and tries to find excuses to still be friends with them, that also is a red flag for me. Like a major one, especially like when you know like the deep inner things that have happened and you're still like, "Oh, that's my bestie." It's crazy.
Or like bringing them around me.
Yeah, like you're
when
just
you
as
know
bad
the
as them.
trauma that happened with me.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. And I did not see it that way at first. And like, maybe that person didn't see it that way either.
No, you won't see it at first.
No, but when I look back at it, I'm like, yo, I cannot believe I put myself in that traumatic experience because I literally put myself in a room with someone that I knew dogged the shit out of me, and I still did that, which made me look away, and I didn't see it that way. And from when I started, moving on in my life, and when my man told me like that's not your friend, and the fact that those things happened to you around you, and your friend knew and still brought that individual around you, that's not your friend.
And then when they start talking about people around you and gossiping,
and then dog shitting you in front of people that don't, it was
like,
too much.
It was way too much red flags and way too much like, no, this ain't for me.
And I ignored those red flags like an idiot.
When you're like friends with somebody who's real gossipy, like I've noticed, like I can sit down and I can say like a 1-2 because at the end of the day, let's be for real, we all gossip. But like when you see somebody just doing it like every single link up, like you, and every time this person link up is always them telling you something new about somebody's business,
it's not somebody you need to be around.
Me. It's not for you. It's not for anybody.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, so listen to your partner if they warn you about your friends.
Listen to your friends. Listen to all the people around you who tell you about the bad mind people in your life. And also, before we close on that topic, I've also been that friend to tell my friends that their friends are bad mind. I've definitely been that friend, and the friend knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Shout out to you. I've definitely told her that those people are not your friends, like at all, like not even a little bit.
No, that's funny.
Like barely. Like no. Not for you. And I don't want people to think that you're just like that person because
when you're not,
and I know you're not. And I hear certain people and like you'll tell me that certain people say certain things about the friend that you were friends with. I don't want that for my friends because then they're gonna look at me and be like, "Look at you guys are all together." No, there's one thing about me. I am me.
Lastly, I wanted to get your opinion on this because I was thinking about this as like, when my time comes to being like a parent, like what kind of parent am I going to be? And I saw a clip of Kevin Hart and he was on, I guess Carmelo Anthony has a podcast. Yo, everyone has a podcast now.
Everybody, dog.
But yeah, he was on the podcast episode, and he was like, I'm the dad that like celebrates like dumb stuff. He's like, I'm the dad that celebrates dumb stuff. I will like I'm the most understanding father. He said that his son came home and like showed him that he got like a C plus, and he's like, and I gave him a high five, and he was like, but like, dad, like I got a C, like I didn't get an A or a B, and he was like, yeah, but like if you were to see the marks that I got, then like
I think I'm gonna be that parent.
yeah,
Because like I don't think a C is necessarily bad. I would praise him, like, you did you try your best? And you say yeah, but okay, well let's see how next time we can improve.
right,
Because I think I'm gonna be that parent because I didn't. Let's be for real.
right. And so for him to say that, he's like, it's on a subject that you were struggling with, right?
Yes.
And he was like, but you still were able, like you didn't fail, and you were still able to get, like, you passed at the end of the day. You
Way
passed.
more than a pass. Because remember,
Right.
in Canadian grades, a C plus is like a 68%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I ain't that bad. That's almost a B.
So for me, it's not an underachievement, because at the end of the day, let me tell you something. Let me be for real with
Listen
you, okay?
to me good. Listen to me, Papa.
What I understood with school at a very young age was that like school was not for me. Like I knew when I went to high school that like I didn't know if me and school were really gonna, I love dancing. I went to an art school, and the only class I never skipped was dance class. Like I never skipped a dance class. And there wasn't much to skip because like I couldn't go anywhere back in the day at the high school I went to.
If you know,
like,
you know.
there was nothing around for you to go. You had to stay at school. But I remember like there were certain things I didn't want to go to because I wasn't interested in. And I would just, chill in the cafeteria. And then, I wouldn't go. But dance class, I was in dance class. And I loved dancing. Like that was my thing. And I think our parents weren't so like hard on us when it came to schooling and like grades, but like they just emphasize a lot how much school is important and how much you need academics and why you need academics, and like you must go to school, you must study your book, you must do all these things, which I understood and I got where they were coming from. But school was not for me. So if my child comes home and brings a C plus in trigonometry. See, we can't even pronounce it. Trigonometry. There you go. And every tree and chemistry. I'm gonna be proud because I know that in trigonometry I can't even pronounce it. I know for a fact I probably got a D.
You were able to stop taking science in grade 10.
Oh, I was out.
Finished.
Out. I took applied math. Let me tell you something.
So did I.
I have no shame to say that everything I learned in math class I do not apply to my life besides counting money and adding my taxes.
And add and subtract.
Right?
And a couple divisions.
Yeah. And I know to look at that, divide by whatever. Like those are the simple basics that you need in life is there. Okay.
Like, I could not be a school teacher.
And never. And like I think the value of life is not taught in schools. How to value your credit, how to know a direct how to finance, how to do down payments. Like those things are very important. I think the school curriculum needs to change. But back to what I was saying, I knew school wasn't for me, and I know after it took a while, because mom listens to this. It took a while, but I knew at some point like my mom was okay with school not being my thing because she knew and saw how much I love dancing and how much I made dancing work.
But in a Caribbean household, you have to prove yourself.
Yeah, I had to show it.
You have no choice.
I had to show it.
If you're not gonna do something, and like if I would, like for instance, if I wasn't going to school, I had to go work. I had to find a job.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It was one or the other or both. There was no, you're staying in this household, you're not going to school, and you're not working. That's mud.
No, that we didn't have those. Let me just be honest with you. That was not an option in my household at all. Let me just big up my mother, and my father, because let me tell you something. That was not an option for them.
Not at all.
But what I will say is that I did have to show them. Because
you have to.
It was something that they still tried to like tell me to do. Like, why don't you go to college? Why don't you go to university? Why don't you go to those things? And mind you, like our parents, they just wanted us to go to a post-secondary. They didn't push university. They didn't discredit college. Yeah. They said go to where you want to go to. Like I went to George Brown and then I went to Humber College, and I dropped out of Humber College because I said I'm wasting time and money here. Like I don't want to do this, and it was a hard conversation because I think what they were trying to do was to prevent us from having a hard life. But regardless, life hard.
I died.
And regardless, life is going to be hard. Like, whether you finish school or not.
They don't, but high school doesn't prepare you for college. Like,
no, it doesn't.
All.
It doesn't at all.
I don't know. Granted, I don't know what the girlies are doing in this day and age, but back in my day, they didn't prepare me for college. That's a whole other world, guys.
Yeah, it's a whole other atmosphere.
A whole other atmosphere, and like you don't even. What I even learned in high school, it didn't apply when I was in college. It literally was a whole other world, and I felt like I was obviously learning, but I felt like I was literally learning an entire world again.
Right.
And learning myself. Because I feel like even your high school grades meant nothing in college. Mm-hmm. Because everything just became harder. For me, it just became harder and more confusing. And like you're really on your own when you're in college. In high school, you still had help. You still had guidance counselors. You still had still had the opportunity to have help from your teachers. In college, you're on your ones. And in university, you're really on your ones. You're in a lecture hall with hundreds of other students who are trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. So it's just like school is
and they don't connect with you like how your teachers in high school would. Like you're just another number. Facts. And it's no disrespect, but it's like you are just another number in this class, whether you pass or fail. You're just a number that's gonna either gut you or not gut you. Yeah. Like that's just the real reality of it. Like they don't care. It's more of your self-discipline that tests you when you go to college or university.
And I'm a very hands-on person. So I need to communicate with the person who's teaching me. Like I can't just be on my ones and try to figure it out.
And there were some that like, don't get me wrong, there were some professors that were like really cool and like I could talk to. And then there were some where I was just like, I'm clearly just another number to you. And that is perfectly fine. But what I appreciate and what I think we should continue to appreciate is to not put down our children, because I know our generation it was a lot harder, but this new generation, I think that if your child passes or your child got through, then just be happy for them, because at the end of the day, it's so much harder when you have to pass and then pass the expectations of your parents.
Yeah, and you also have to make sure that like obviously we're talking like this, but also make sure that you're like as like a child or a student or whatever that you're also trying. Don't just think that you can just come home with a C+ and be like, well, yeah, and show
like, but if you
make sure that like you're actually putting in the effort and like, you know what, like I really did try, because when you see that effort, I feel like the reaction is different. When like you come home and you don't try at all, because I was definitely that kid. Sometimes I just didn't care. I didn't try.
Yeah, me too.
And
after
my mom would look at me and be like, so like,
but
what's
you
going
see,
on?
but see, like Kevin Hart said, if I know you were struggling with something, and I know that you just you passed it and you came through, I'm gonna celebrate you. Go put it on the fridge. Yeah. You passed, because I know that was something that you struggled with.
Me and math.
I think we need to be more understanding, because we just see how it is. And I think with Caribbeans and just like I would even say this more so in like African households, it's more like that is more so beaten into you, not physically, but you know, it's beaten into your membrane. We're like, no, only this is acceptable. This is not acceptable. This isn't good. I think that mentality, we need to cut it out, because we are just setting our children up for a harder or harsher or even just failure all around.
It doesn't help, and it's like life is already hard as it is, in the sense of like being an adult and even just leaving high school. Like that's already a culture shock for us as students and as us as young adults. Like it's already hard as it is. So to also have that in the back of your head, because let's be for real, when I was 17, I had no idea what I wanted to do when I was older. Mm-hmm. I'm like, am I really getting older? Like graduating high school, like am I really on my ones here? That's crazy.
No, but that's facts. And
like,
then,
am I grown now? Like, what does this mean?
But that's the thing. Like, when you go to college and university, you showing your independence.
Yeah.
Because you have nobody there.
And you have all age groups.
Yeah, right. And it's like all age groups. You have nobody there to hold your hand. So this is how you pass as a number. Like you gotta have self-discipline. You have to be like, okay, I gotta study or this or that. Like you gotta show your independence and your strength in order for you to really succeed. It's all on you. It's on nobody else. Once you get there, it's you. Now again, like of course, there's sources and things that can be helpful for you and resourceful for you. But at the end of the day, it's your discipline and self-discipline that's going to get you through it.
And that's how you're going to learn.
Right.
And,
and my self-discipline was like, me don't want to do this. And I just said, all right, I'm done.
But then to argue that point too, you're an adult. Well, you're not an adult yet. But like you're almost an adult in college, so why can't I make those decisions for myself if that's what you're teaching me to do?
You're technically an adult, though. You are an adult. You're an adult. I mean, to a certain extent.
You're still 17, 18.
Not in college.
Yeah, your first year of college, I was 17 going on 18.
Okay, well, your birthday.
Yeah.
Well, I was like 18, 19. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're 8. You're 18 basically.
Yeah.
When you go to college, so at that point, it's like okay, and you can get your first credit card.
You're still learning the ropes.
You're still learning the ropes. So it's just like you're throwing me into the deep end right now. Right. And I gotta try to figure this ish out by myself.
On your own, yeah.
On my own, on my ones with hundreds of other people trying to do the same thing. So I mean, it's just I feel like we just have to start appreciating and acknowledging the efforts of our children when it is actually being shown.
Yeah.
Because don't downplay it, but be like, you know what? You did good this time. Let's see what can happen next time.
Or if you need, like, what do you need?
What do you need? Do you need more extra assistance?
Yeah, like, or is this really? Or this is like, listen, I had all the help and this is what I got and I'm proud of this. Yeah. I will be like, well, I'm proud of you. At the end of the day,
praise God.
It's just the communication has to be there.
Yeah.
But all while going, I've never had to use M squared, YZ, Y times X,
I've never
X
used
to the root of the yellow.
In my life.
Listen, never.
Never used bed math in my life.
That's another thing. Yo, these schools, y'all gotta change your curriculum because all while going, when in life did I have to figure out the square root of the triangle to the X to the D to the Y to the yellow? I've never had to do that.
What Drake said, the square root of 69 is A something, right? That's all I got.
I still haven't figured out the square root and I don't want to. I don't need to. Leave me alone.
like I don't want to. I promise.
Like again, if you're like you are becoming a doctor or a lawyer, like yes, like those are certain levels you
have to.
I get it. A
dentist, a heart surgeon.
I get it.
You know the vibes.
But I think for speaking on my behalf, I had a love and passion for dance, and I think no matter what, behind my back, my parents had the conversation, and they were like.
No, but you had to make that work, bro.
No, but I had no choice. I'm like, no, like this is
what you want.
This is what I'm doing, and then that's when, like, mom told me the other day, like not the other day, but she told me a while back. She was like, I knew that that your love was strong for dance, and I knew, and you have a hustle mentality that you were gonna succeed. I knew that because no matter how hard we tried to say go to school.
There's one thing about Shan, once she sets her mind to something,
I was done. I'm like, no, you're gonna see me make a good income of dance, and now I'm showing that.
You have to show that, and not even just your parents, but you have to do it for yourself.
No, I had to because at the end of the day, it's
so much. I need to put my all in it, and I have to work.
It's for my sanity.
Yeah.
Throughout it all, it's for my sanity, and my sanity was more important to me, and my love for dance was more important to me. So all in all, I think this whole purpose of the conversation is just listen. One, don't put so much pressure on yourself, and this is for any young person, individual, whoever's going to school, whatever the case may be, trying to figure out your life. Let me tell you something. I'm in my 30s and I'm just getting it. Like, I'm just getting it. So you don't have to have everything figured out. And still, you don't have to have everything figured out by a certain time frame or a certain window. Don't put those expectations on yourself. Put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
Do your best. Don't try your best. Do your best. Yeah. Put God first. Put your needs first. Put what you need to do that's best for you. Yeah. Always doing what's best for you first. And at the end of the day, everything will foresee itself. It'll happen. It'll happen and you will succeed. But if you have these expectations or you put pressure on yourself, that's just gonna it's gonna be too much for you. So just relax, do what you have to do. And parents, just be more reasonable, communicate more, and just be a little bit more understanding.
Yeah. Just do the things to get to where you need to be. Don't just say that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Take action and do it, It's best for you.
Great conversation, man. Love this episode today. This was a good one. This was a good combo. High five. Come on. But yes, like we said, make sure you are following us on all of our social media platforms, on Instagram and on TikTok at CheyTea Podcast. Download our episodes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
And subscribe to us on YouTube at CheyTea Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. Click that notification bell so you're notified every single time we upload. I said subscribe twice, but that's okay.
That's fine. And we're trying to get it like a certain level. We're going up to the goal that I have for the end of the year. So subscribe. Go get your Gmail accounts. Go get all the mail accounts and just subscribe
on your
to
WhatsApp.
CheyTea Podcast. Share with your friends and have a lovely week. And we'll see you in the next episode. Outside. Libra season too soon done.
Whoa, soon done. It's just getting started. Tech time.
When does it finish?
Libra season, like near the end of October.
Oh,
yeah.
We're just getting started.
Yeah.
Can you believe it's October?
Shh.
Like, Brenda, me just have my birthday, you know, and here we are. I'm gonna have to start celebrating my birthday. Anyways, bye.
Celebrating New Year's.
Bye. Oh, bye. Chris. Oh, bye. I don't have time for this. No.